Plastic Man is stupidly overpowered. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I haven't seen him since I was a kid.
He's only in a few things outside of the comics, so I wanted to make this video talking about him. First, I've got to quickly go over his origins so you know him and his powers a little better. One night, Patrick Eel O'Brien and his gang were hitting a lick at an experimental chemical warehouse. While running away from the police, Eel...
He should care, because guess what? His woman gonna put him on child support. That's a fact. Diggs, I think him and YB got the same baby mama.
Was shot and the experimental chemicals fell onto him and into his wound. He was able to get away, but his gang left him and he ended up passing out, and when he woke up, he realized he had powers. This is also where he decided to just give up being a criminal and become a hero. Now, his powers are pretty stupidly overpowered. He's invulnerable to bullets, explosions, any sort of blunt force. He's basically just indestructible for the most part, and...
Hey, this man did have a TV show when I was a kid, right? Is this it? I know I've seen him before.
Even if he is hurt, he just kind of reforms himself like nothing happened. With his elastic skin, he can shapeshift into literally anything he can think of, no matter the size, including dinosaurs, a tank,
I didn't know
a
that.
dragon, other people, literally anything he can think of. He also doesn't age, nor does he need to eat, drink, or sleep, so he's essentially immortal. And with all of his powers, he's done some cool shit, so I want to talk about it. First, I gotta talk about him and Injustice and both of them.
That boy think he a Chad too? My boy, I didn't even know he ain't had to sleep. He ain't gotta eat either. Yeah, I mean, why eat? You don't have to shit. You can just, bro, you can just stop eating. Stop eating. Who likes to shit? That's a fact. Stop eating, bro. Ain't nobody, especially when it's one of those bad ones, bro. Why put yourself through that?
Movie and the comic, but it was moving different. As you know, Superman was murking people left and right in this, and the gang couldn't leave the hideout because of some modified T-spheres watching everything. So Batman hatches a plan to save their creator, Mr. Terrific, who's in prison deep in the Mariana Trench. This prison is literally impenetrable, there's literally no way in, but Batman says there's one guy who can get in there. Plastic Man, who's been disguised as the chair that Harley was sitting on this whole time.
Ah! My dog is being nasty. You will still miss the taste of good food? Yeah. But at the same time though, man, why eat, bro? Why eat? You don't want to put yourself through all that, man. Not when it's one of those bad ones, bro. The ones you got to take your shirt off of.
Probably sniffing straight cheeks.
Hey, I ain't mad at it. I'm not mad at it, I'm not mad at Mr. Plastic Man. Know what I'm saying? For that, we done saw Harley Quinn go crazy. I would have done the same thing. I would have licked it.
They deploy Plastic Man into the water, and he casually gets into the heavily guarded, nearly impenetrable prison deep underwater. Cyborg catches him lacking though, and tells him that the lock to the door is impenetrable and only Cyborg can open it. Plastic Man says fuck all that and just opens the door casually with his hand and then flips off Cyborg. My boy's now 2 for 2 with breaking into impenetrable shit. He then frees Mr. Terrific, makes a shield and blasts through the guards while eating bullets, and they eventually get
nasty.
Then at the end of the movie, the battle with Amazo, who by the way was beating the shit out of all the top dogs.
Hey, y'all see him right here? Hey, hold on.
The battle with Amazo, who by the way was beating the shit out of all the top dogs.
Him? Wasn't this man black in that in Black Adam? Y'all let me know if I'm wrong. I know I'm not wrong. This is the same man that was up in the Flash, CW Flash, when him, Arrow, Supergirl was all up in that same movie. So okay, I know I'm not wrong. This is the same man that died in the Flash and just keeps coming back to find his woman. This is him. This is him.
Plastic Man wraps him up, eats his laser and reforms himself. Then he ends up going inside of him, expanding and popping him. Which is crazy. The comics were pretty different, but even crazier. Plastic Man's son Luke was a part of a group who destroyed...
In that movie, yes, he was. In that movie, absolutely. In that movie, they made him funny. It was nothing but jokes in that little Black Adam movie. That man can fight. Mind you, they do die. He do die. They do die. Right? They die. Over and over and over again. But they can fight.
The Superman statue.
Him and his girl.
Arrested, and Luke was brought to the trench. And even the Flash is like, dude, you know whose kid that is, right? Then you know who's finna pull up. Then later on, everybody, and I mean everybody, was sweating bullets when they heard Plastic Man pulled up. Wonder Woman even tells them to not hold back if things take a left turn, as he's more dangerous than you can comprehend. Talking about this man like he's the boogeyman. Plastic Man then pulls up.
Hey, y'all see that little animation that just hopped onto the screen? I couldn't stand that when I was a kid, bro. You should watch Justice League Unlimited series. You hate them? Which one is that? Is that on HBO Max?
And pretty much just
I saw that. There's a good bit of stuff on HBO Max too. I might make that some content. I love it.
To be released and just makes fun of everybody in there. But after Superman tells him no, Plastic Man brings up the death of Superman's son and wife, which makes Superman charge at Plastic Man with the Flash breaking it up. And look at my boy. just chilling.
Yeah.
Flash then walks Plastic Man out, and Plastic Man turns around and goes inside of Barry.
What?
Pause. And uses his powers to choke Barry out.
Oh my
boy Flash is
goodness.
always being done dirty. I'm not even going to talk about how he was done in the movie. Stupid. When Barry wakes up, he tells Cyborg that Plastic Man is going after his son. Cyborg tells him that it's literally impossible to survive the pressure of that part of the ocean, but Barry insists that they look for any weak points that Plastic Man could exploit. They go over all the weak points that could be exploited, and it's revealed that Plastic Man is actually impersonating the Flash. And while on his way out, he snatches up a bunch of lantern rings. Plastic Man's friend Woozy brings him over in a chopper, and then he
I ain't even think of that, bro. He said that he could do that in the beginning, bro. Gracious.
launches himself into the water, all the way down to the prison. He breaks in and takes out the first guard he sees. He then marches over to the cafeteria area, finds Kilowog, tells him he can get them all out of here, but first, he needs to know where his son is. After he
Nobody realistically can beat the Flash. That's a fact, bro. Hey, bro, you know the Flash got to get hold every time. We know it. We done saw CW Flash, mind you, terrible writers, right? We know Flash got to get hold in a whole lot of stuff.
finds out, he tells Kilowog he'll need a distraction.
It gotta happen.
So Kilowog walks over to Bane, headbutts him, and a fight breaks out. Plastic Man finds the cell, and just like in the movie, he breaks into the impenetrable door and breaks everyone out of their cells. But Metamorpho, who's apparently the warden, pulls up, as well as Superman and the Justice League. So Plastic Man throws the rings to all the lanterns, and Sinestro shoots through the glass, hitting Kilowog. Plastic Man stretches and covers up the hole in the wall. Luke turns on Mirror Master's belt and stretches out to grab a hold of everyone to get them out. Luke then tells Plastic Man that they need to get out of there, but Plastic Man tells him he can't because if he moves, this whole thing will cave in. So he's basically saying he's going to sacrifice himself for the greater good. But Luke is like, bullshit, bro. You're just trying to go out like that rather than hang out with me. And Plastic Man is like, yeah, you're right. So they end up both getting
CW Flash was good up to season 2. Which one was season 2, bro? Was that when Reverse Flash popped out? Or was that season 3?
out of there in time. They busted everyone out of prison, and Plastic Man tells all the
I think he
criminals
tripping.
that
I
they
think
should
they had, like,
focus
3
their
good
crimes
seasons.
on Superman and just fuck his shit up. And then when leaving, Plastic Man's like, we could probably help take down Superman. But Luke says, or we could just chill out and let the
They
others
might
deal
be
with it.
tripping for real.
That's G shit.
They probably have about four good seasons. Savitar, Reverse Flash, Savitar, Reverse Flash. There's another one.
Plastic Man just casually hopped off the couch, walked into
think.
an impenetrable prison without breaking a sweat, and busted everybody out.
Oh, season 2 was with Zoom. Yeah, there we go. The 3 people: Zoom, Reverse Flash, and the Savitar. Those 3. Hey, I done forgot the order.
Another
But
great
yeah,
comic
after that, GG's.
where, again, Batman needed Plastic Man's help was in the Injustice 2 comics. Ra's al Ghul had his people snatch up Green Arrow and Black Lightning's kids as leverage to prevent Batman from stopping him from doing his evil plan or whatever. Not very smart. But Batman had a tracking chip on Green Arrow's son Connor and finds his location
Of course he
somewhere
did.
deep in a heavily guarded jungle.
A
They'll
little
need
punk.
to get in undetected, but that's pretty much impossible for everyone except one person. Someone who's single-handedly broken into the most secure places in the world, one of the most powerful people on Earth, Plastic Man. They're just glazing the dick off my boy.
Ain't
Batman
nothing wrong
gets a
with it.
lead and knocks on a door. A man opens the door, and Batman quickly sniffs out that it's Plastic Man's son, Luke, by his voice. He kicks down the door and somehow points out what Luke is.
These boys can change into anything. You telling me they can't change? Pause. But they can't change that little thing inside your throat, bro. Know what I'm saying? They can't change the way they talk. They can't change their voice up. They can change everything else about them. Go up in people's nose. Know what I'm saying? Strangle people. Choke them boys out. They can't change that.
hiding as, like he's playing prop on it. Like, how the fuck did he know he's the trash can? Anyways, Batman says he needs him and Plastic Man's help, and it's revealed that Plastic Man was actually the watch on Luke's hand. Batman convinces Plastic Man to help by telling him that they took some kids, specifically Black Lightning and Green Arrow's kids. They fly over the location, and not to be detected, Plastic Man and Luke cover up Batgirl, and as they fall to the ground way too fast, Plastic Man turns into a hang glider, and Luke helps Batgirl land safely.
Goated.
Luke then takes out some ninjas while disguised as a fucking tree, 40-foot tree, middle of the jungle, taking out some ninjas. That's fucking awesome, dude.
It
And
is.
then later on, he's able to help save the kids by disguising himself as Ra's al Ghul, with Plastic Man disguised as his sword. Crazy. Now, if he wanted, Plastic Man could be one of the most overpowered heroes in DC, but he decides to always goof around and half-ass everything and just be the
That's what I know him for.
comic relief character. But if we jump to an evil version of Plastic Man in the Flashpoint timeline, then you really see how scary he could be. In this, Plastic Man is with a group of villains, and his leader, Heatwave, got put behind bars after a run-in with Cyborg. So Plastic Man gets him out by hiding inside his cellmate and then eventually bursts out of his mouth, killing him. Good
Oh
lord.
my
Another
gosh.
time, he turned himself into barbed wire, wrapped up a bunch of inmates, and shrunk himself onto them, which could have packed them up if he wasn't called off. Later in the
Oh,
story,
he ain't
after
do
taking
it.
control of the flying prison, Heatwave plans to pack up an entire city. But even evil Plastic Man isn't that evil. So he threatens Heatwave, who sends 2 others to fight him, and Plastic Man just gouges one of the guy's eyes out and pulls the other guy's heart out. I can't remember who the first guy is.
What? Plastic Man think he killable, boy. My gosh. When he start moving like, I mean, this Flashpoint, Plastic Man. Gracious.
The second guy I think was Sportsmaster. Eventually, he faces off with Heatwave, and Heatwave uses his guns to melt him down. Which brings me to another point I want to talk about. He is pretty much indestructible for the most part, but he can be temporarily defeated. As seen in this comic, he can be melted briefly, but he does reform himself and shows up in Heatwave's cell later for revenge. And in the Justice League Tower of Babel comic where Ra's al Ghul gets his paws on Batman's contingency plans, they're able to freeze Plastic Man over and then shatter him into multiple pieces. But of course, he does eventually come back in one piece. Obviously, there's probably like over-the-top ways that could probably pack him up, like if he got completely disintegrated or something. But overall, he's an extremely hard dude to put down permanently. And since he can shapeshift into literally anything, like he literally has no limits, just whatever he can think of, that alone makes him one of the most overpowered characters in DC.
What's that punk name in Fantastic Four? That little punk up in Fantastic Four. I ain't never seen him choke somebody out, go up in somebody's nose and choke somebody out. Y'all know who I'm talking about too. I ain't never seen him do that. Mind you, I got smoke for that Fantastic Four. Ed Reed, ain't that's his name? Ed Reed, Mr. Reed, Richard Reed, whatever. Him, that bum. I ain't never seen him do that. Hey, in that movie too, bro got cheated on. I'm talking about the OG one. Bro got cheated on emotionally. He did, right? With his girl was going for the Silver Surfer. That's a fact. I ain't gonna lie to you. Me being me, I ain't finna allow that, man. I'm not. Ever.
Jumping back to the Injustice comics, there's a part where the Martian Manhunter went inside of Wonder Woman.
What do you mean by that?
Not like that, bro. Chill out.
Why
He
not?
went inside of her and could have easily packed her up if it wasn't for Superman using his laser vision to fry him dead. Plastic Man could do the same thing, but easier. He could disguise himself as a chair, then while Superman is chilling, sitting on the chair, he could swim up his dick hole and then kill him from the inside. Or turn himself into a coffee mug.
I'm not gonna lie to you, pause, but that's not nothing I would do. But I would disguise myself as a chair. Mind you, Clark is a country boy. I'm disguising myself as some pig feet. You know what I'm saying? Hey, either way, bro, Clark gonna have to sit on me. Pause. He gotta sit on me or something, bro. Sit on me. Hey, get me close to your mouth. It's a fact. I'm killing Superman. I'm being the evil one. I'm killing Superman and Batman too. I'm letting Batman rock, dog. I like him.
Superman's drinking out of the coffee mug, boom, he's got him. That's crazy to think about. He can pretty much do anything he wants. Also, I couldn't find the specific show or comic where this is, but I've seen a bunch of people talking about how Batman has even said that Plastic Man is too OP, and even his contingency for him would only slow him down at best. And if Batman's saying you're legit, you're legit.
Cap, Batman is unkillable. Batman is unkillable. Man, get out my face. What you talking about? You trolling me. You trolling me, Takara. What you talking about? I forgot all about Plastic Man too until I saw the thumbnail. Bro is goated, but he's goofy. That's the only downside about it. Ain't nothing wrong with being goofy. I love goofy characters. I love them. But gracious, man. Hold on. What's bro YouTube channel name? Base Talks, bro. That's a good vid, man. You know what I'm saying? You reminded me of my little childhood. Yeah. But hold on.